4 Premier League titles, 2 PFA Player of the Year awards, 2 Premier League Player of the Year awards, 59 goals and 94 assists in 218 appearances. Kevin De Bruyne at Manchester City in a nutshell. He's currently in his 8th season there and never ceases to amaze us with his premier playmaking, vision, precision and execution. He is truly one of the best players of all time. Seeing him play now, we have to wonder, how could Chelsea not have seen the potential of one of the Premier League's all-time greats? The story starts at Genk.
Dus Liverpool en mijn favoriete speler is Michael Owen en daar zou ik graag willen bij spelen.
If you look at the comments on his first interview with the club, the people seem to recognize his talent. Of course, the trajectory wasn't for him to come in and immediately be a part of the first team, and he would therefore go out on loan to Bundesliga side Werder Bremen. Here he became a star and had an excellent season. With 10 goals and 9 assists, he helped them avoid relegation and developed in a much tougher league than he had experienced before.
Ploegen geïnteresseerd zijn en dan Bremen was geïnteresseerd. En ja, ik vond dat wel een goede ploeg. Bundesliga. Oké, het seizoen is niet gelopen qua ploeg. Hoe dat het echt...
Ja, maar individueel voor
individueel was top.
Ja,
individueel was top. Alles gespeeld. Ja, goed seizoen gedraaid in Duitsland. En dat ging van hier in België, als je top bent, naar goed in Duitsland. Dat is al een wereld van verschil.
Tuurlijk.
Dus je komt al met een andere status terug.
He subsequently returned to Chelsea and got the chance to prove himself, which he didn't necessarily want in the first place.
Ik wou eigenlijk naar Dortmund vertrekken. Hè? Ja, ik had met Klopp wel af en toe gebeld.
Ja, dat is wel...
Götze vertrok dat jaar naar Bayern. Dus in mijn hoofd ideaal, hè. Daar komt de plaats vrij.
But Jose Mourinho, manager at the time, would later state he was actually really impressed by De Bruyne during their pre-season tour in Asia, so much so that he made the decision to keep him at Chelsea. And I think we can take his word for it, because it explains his decision to start him in their first Premier League game against Hull City. So, the club wanted to keep him and he impressed Mourinho. Why did it go left? Well, Chelsea was stacked. That means players have to perform, and if they don't, there is another really good player waiting in line to take your spot. De Bruyne had to compete with the likes of Hazard, Oscar, Willian, Schürrle and Juan Mata. The games De Bruyne feature for Chelsea, mostly the last games against Sunderland for example, he didn't show enough to suggest he was capable of ending up higher in the pecking order. He looked lethargic, off the pace, and unable to impact matches the way a player in his position must. Which isn't weird, as it's difficult for any footballer to make an impression without a sustained period in the starting 11, especially for someone who's only 22 years of age at a football club like Chelsea. De Bruyne also admitted he sometimes left it hanging a bit, because he didn't see a chance to play anymore, he just wanted to leave. Most likely this influenced his poor performances nearing the end of his tenure at Chelsea. Due to those poor performances, De Bruyne ended up as their 6th option. Thus it became clear he was going to make a move in the next transfer window. But why did Chelsea sell him and not just let him go out on loan? There is not one definite answer, but Chelsea had just announced huge losses for the year ending June 2013, and with financial fair play in place, this meant they had to sell players before their squad could be strengthened any further. During that half a year, De Bruyne only managed to play 9 matches, but still represented good transfer value. Selling was seen as their best option. One reporter would even call it potentially the best sale of the century. In the end, they did not get their initial asking price, with the sale rumoured to be around 20 million euros, but there was still a nice profit of around 12 million euros. Mourinho also stated he put huge pressure on Chelsea to sell him, and De Bruyne admitted this in passing, saying that he later realised he could get out of such a situation, but didn't see that then. He just wanted to leave.
haat of zo naar hem. Hij moet ook beslissingen nemen.
Hij
hè.
moet beslissingen nemen, dat is waar.
Uiteindelijk kiest hij niet voor u, dat is niet leuk, maar ik ben geen klein kind om te zeggen van...
Nee, dat is waar. Dat was wel ook.
Of course, De Bruyne transferred to Manchester City for quadruple the amount Chelsea received not even 2 years later. But I wouldn't call it the biggest mistake in football history. It seems they were aware of his talent, but at that point he wasn't ready yet. They made a substantial amount of profit and would go on to win the Premier League only 1 season after De Bruyne left. Regardless, a buyback clause would have been a better option in my opinion, and it seems like they have learned from their mistakes in the past. Look at Tammy Abraham for example. They sold him but had an amazing first season in Italy, and if he starts developing into a world-class footballer, Chelsea will have an option to buy him back without any other clubs interfering.